So I touch it and I'm like, mystery solved, guys. It's semen and piss. Hello, all my lovely friends. Welcome to the newest episode of Middle-Aged Millennial MILF podcast, also known as MAM. You might notice I'm trying out earbuds today. We'll see how it works. I feel like I look all weird with the big headbands. And I also wanted to show off these beautiful earrings that I got from my friend Jesse for my birthday way late in February. They say boo whore. His husband Skylar makes them and they're lovely. He also makes me my vigilante. Wood, anything wood. Skylar's your man. In more ways than one. Blah, blah. Anyway, hello, folks. Welcome. It is just me today because I wanted to share my fun experience. My husband turned 40. He's a middle-aged millennial MILF. Well, he's a DILF. My husband's a DILF now. And I wanted to share our trip with you. So we go on a lot of trips. So I think kind of how this is going to go, folks, is I'll have guests. These are people that I care about, that I'm interested in, stuff like that. And then after a trip, I'm going to debrief you. Like we're in the FBI. We're going to debrief. So let's go, people. Vegas. We went to Vegas because we got the Killers tickets. Yes, right. The Killers. It was the 20th anniversary of their Hot Fuss album, which is my favorite. I love Jenny as a friend of mine, and All the Things I've Done are two of my all-time favorite songs. So I was very excited. I ended up having to buy him fucking third party though. It was a whole to do. But so we're going to Vegas and Drew booked us in the Cosmopolitan, and the Cosmopolitan was so nice. It was really nice and it was cool. But they had I'll post these pictures on the Instagram, but they had images where it was a naked. Well, I couldn't get over it. It was a naked woman in water. It was like fucking Kanye's wife at the Grammys. It was, and then I'm taking pictures and the guy behind me is laughing, but whatever. So we get to Vegas, we get checked in the room and we're like, all right, let's just chill. So we went and ate at Giordano's, which is my husband's favorite. We went and got changed and we were going to walk around the Cosmo. So I put on these heels and I was critiquing people as we're walking. I'm like, look at her. She can't wear heels. She shouldn't be wearing them. Oh, look at her. See, no. I could walk in them. I rubbed a hole in my ankle that was bleeding the whole time and had to buy blister packs. So the moral of the story is don't talk shit, people. It will come back to you. So that kind of changed my whole outfit idea. So I couldn't wear the heel. It was so bad. But also, okay, the reason we were walking is we went to buy a Lush bubble bath. When my parents took us to Vegas, when Walker was 3, we stayed at the Mandalay Bay. My mom got us this 2-bedroom suite. It was the suite where that guy that did the shooting stayed. I don't think it was the exact same one, but it was the same floor and the same plan. So they had a jetted tub and they had a fucking TV. It was amazing. So we went to Lush and got a bubble bar. We didn't realize because we didn't have a jetted tub, you shouldn't put bubble bath in a jetted tub. So it literally turned into a comical vaudeville performance. The bubbles are just coming out of the tub. They're all over the floor. I'm throwing every towel. I'm getting the bathrobes that they have to get this bubble down. We turn it off, we get it, and we have no towels. And the next day my fucking brother is like, no, we don't need a housekeeping. I'm like, yes, we do. We had a situation. So we weren't jetted this time. It was a Japanese soaking tub. So we're like, let's try it again. What's the worst thing that'll happen? We'll end up with bubbles all over the floor. What happened is now we want a Japanese soaking tub because that with the bubble bar was delightful. And then we had the concert and we ate at Gordon Ramsay Steak, which, okay, we've gone to every one of Gordon's restaurants. This was the last one because it was a little pricey. Didn't start off good. Was talking to the hostess. She ignored me. Then we were over to the side. Then everyone else was getting sat. So then the hostess comes to sit us. And I'm I was worried she didn't even have our information. So we get sat at this shitty little table in between these two old guys showing each other pictures of shit I don't even know. And then these other people. And it just kind of sucks. And we're sitting there and the table was dirty underneath the mat. And Drew is a germaphobe and that stuff just gets to him. So instantly he was just this isn't going to work. So the waiter came over And he showed him and he's like, no, don't worry about it. Because I was looking up. There was like the mafia that was watching us, I thought at one point. Like it was a window and there was like this fat bald guy leaning out. But I think it was just another seating area. But still, it was fucking weird, Gordon. Get rid of that mafia window. So they moved us upstairs. And I was like, hell yes, bitch. This is where we belong. Looking down on everyone. So we're sitting and we had the nicest waiter and he comes over and Drew wanted to get the tasting menu because that's what he does. I did not want to get the tasting menu because I have the palate of a toddler. So I was on board for a Gordon Ramsay steak. So he goes, it's the chef's rules that if one person at your table gets the tasting menu, everyone has to. And then he walked away. And I was like, well, I know that Gordon is not currently like chefing here. So when he came back, I go, wait, I have a question. Is this like Gordon saying this, or is this like Tina, your head chef? Because if it's fucking Tina, send her up here. I will be more than happy to talk to her. And he laughed and he's like, oh no, it's the big guy. And he pointed to Gordon and he's like, but I'm going to tell him about you. I'm like, oh, please do. Please tell him about the picture I took at Hell's Kitchen where I pretended to blow him. That was a fun one. So I was like, fuck it. It's my husband's birthday. He always tones stuff down. Let's do it. So I got the tasting menu. It was way better. Okay. It was Gordon. Amazing. It was amazing that I had a Scotch egg and I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to eat it. It was so, okay. I should reframe that because later in the episode, we're going to talk about the Scotch egg I had at the Renaissance Festival that was not Gordon Ramsay level. So Scotch eggs in general, I wouldn't necessarily recommend a Gordon Ramsay Scotch egg any day of the week. Then I got like crudo. It was like fish. I don't know. I didn't like it. Then we had risotto and I ate a scallop for the first time and I quite enjoyed that. And the beef Wellington was, of course, always delightful. I always wanted to like lobster. It seemed so bougie, but I tried it and it just tasted like rubber. I don't know. I don't like seafood. But then the dessert came and it was a sticky toffee pudding, which we've had at all of his restaurants. But this time it came with ice cream that was in the shape of a stick of butter. And they had a knife in it like it was butter. Drew was at the bathroom at this point as they set it down. And I was just mesmerized by the plating of this. I was like, it looks like butter, but it's ice cream. Like it just blew. Best thing I've ever seen. I've already shared pictures. I will share more pictures if you want to see. And they sang to Drew and stuff. And then the waiter again said like, oh, thank you so much. I'm going to tell Gordon about you. So Gordon, if you know about me, please come on my podcast. I would really appreciate it. And then after steak, we're like, yeah, we had let's go to the Killers. We went to the Killers and we were in the second to last row. Second, like so high, but you could see so well. And this is going to be a hot take, guys. Be ready for it. I could not stand Mr. Brightside prior to this. Everybody fucking loves it. Everybody fucking sings it. And I was just, Mr. Brightside, I get it. After seeing Brandon Flowers on that stage, A, he's sexy as fuck. B, loyal to his wife. Sorry, Dave. He's beating you there. And this performance of Hot Fuzz, which this, I guess, also shows my age. Because the first show that we went to that did this, it was Third Eye Blind. And they were like playing some shitty songs. And I was like, I'm already looking at Drew. I'm like, we're going to bounce early, right? Then he's like, it's the 20th anniversary of the album. We're going to play it front to back. The order it's on the CD. You have never seen old people get so fucking excited as when he said that. Like Drew high-fived an old lady. He's like, we're staying the whole time. And it was mind-blowing. This was years ago. So Third Eye Blind, ahead of the game. Love you. You're welcome on any time too, Stephen Jenkins. Even though you're a little douchey, but that's okay, Stephen. We love you. Semi-charmed life. You did it, baby. So this, back to the Killers, Brandon Flowers, this was Hot Fuzz. So, but also I knew this. Like, I knew it was going to be the order of the album. And then there's these idiots behind me that are like, I hope he opens with Mr. Brightside. I'm like, it's the order of the... Then I start questioning myself. I'm like, fuck, is he going to open with Mr. Brightside? But no, it was the order of the album. So I got to dance to Jenny is a Friend of Mine. And I wanted Drew to film me dancing to all these things I've done because I have this fantasy. But I didn't ask him to do it. And he got caught up in the music. And it didn't happen. And then I was mad. Then I felt the need to tell him how disappointed I was. So we had like a 5-minute, like 5-song. We weren't talking. It wasn't good. And then we're like, this is stupid. Like, why? It was, and I was like, this is stupid. Like, I didn't need a video of me dancing to this. So I was like, I'm sorry. And then he played like The Man, and they did more, and we stayed the whole time. And it was like, yay. So The Killers, 10 out of 10 show. Brandon Flowers, I love you. Stay loyal to your wife. Please don't have a love child, Dave. You disappointed me so much. All right, folks. So then that takes us to the end of that night. The next day, we're like, I know what we need to, I was like, I know what we need to do. We need to go to Zach Baggins' Haunted Museum, because my hairdresser, Joy, shout out, Joy, love you, girl, was like, she went and she's like, I had a haunted experience. She couldn't tell me any details because they filmed it for the show. So FYI, Zach Baggins, you may be a douche, but Joy kept her word. She did not tell me a secret. So I'm like, yeah, let's go. So we get the tickets, and then they try to like upsell you. They're like, all right, guys, do you want your VIP experience? You get a free shirt. And if you were going to buy a shirt anyway, you may as well just do that. It's cheaper, which who goes in being like a Zach Baggins shirt? That's what I need. So I will show you very quickly. That's it. My Haunted Museum shirt goes with my boo horror earrings. Oh, Zach Baggins Museum. Let's dissect this, guys. It was like an old house in Vegas. And we went in and they had, I should have known, pictures of all the celebrities that had been there. And it was all men. Hey, all men. Fucking Joe Rogan. Big center picture. And I was like, all right. I see you, Zach. I know who you are. Fucking Joe Rogan. And then there was like Liam Payne. And I was like, sad he's dead. And Brandon Flowers. Matthew Gray Gubler was there, which I wish I was there when Dr. Spencer Reed was there, because I would have just followed him around touching his butt. I don't know. That would have been better than the museum. But we're like, fuck it. Yeah, let's get the VIP experience. Hold on for this, guys. The first VIP experience is you are in this room and they're like, this is where we had Annalise's exorcism and blah, blah, blah. Then they tell us that we're going to go crawl through a tunnel that they have concentrated all the exorcism demon energy in, and you'll be able to feel it. So I literally had to, I'd get down on my knees and fucking Discovery Zone this shit. Crawl to what somebody's going, wah! Like I'm hearing some woman's mental illness. I don't believe in exorcism. These people have mental illness. So I'm like, I'm just listening to a mental illness, Discovery Zoning this, hurting my knees. Nobody told me this. I'm worried I'm going to put my hand in a puddle of pee. You guys remember. Then, so I crawl through Discovery Zone. I'm like, this is cheesy as shit. Then we were like looking at serial killer stuff. And I genuinely used to like that. But I didn't need to see Manson's like hospital gown with fluids on it, or like part of his bones. And then, oh God, I'm sorry. I'm just going to shit all over this. I'm so sorry. I'm going to shit all over it. And then they kept showing videos of him to like introduce it. And he'd be like, I'm Zach Baggins and I got like tool of the century. So we go into, it's like, oh, we got this haunted bed from the Bunny Ranch, the infamous Bunny Ranch, the brothel in Vegas. I remember watching that show on HBO when I was way too young too. So they're like, this is a haunted bed. Then they show us a video of, oh God, what was his name? Lamar Odin, I think. Was he, whoever's married to Khloe Kardashian. Big drug user, FYI, like big drug user. And he's like, I went to that brothel and I didn't even do any drugs and I almost died in this bed. I think he cursed me. I'm like, Lamar, baby, you did drugs. You did drugs. So then they're like, okay, like we're looking at this nasty bed. It's got like fucking semen and piss all over, stains all over it. And they're like, the guide's like, and we don't know what these mysterious stains are. Does any of our VIPs want to come up and touch the haunted bed? And of course, I was the only one to do it. I'm like, yeah, I'll go touch the haunted bed because I don't. So I touch it and I'm like, mystery solved, guys. It's semen and piss. If you were wondering what these ghostly things, it's semen and piss. And I don't think they were amused by that because then we moved on quite quickly to Kevorkian. They have you like, this is, oh God, it was so fun. I can't even describe how fucking cheesy it is when he turns on his videos and he's like, lots of women in this room have fainted. And they show video of like strangers fainting and shit. Then you open a door and they have like Kevorkian's van and it's like, they have the the fucking horn go off. Like, this place was jump scare city too, which if you're a serious museum, I did not appreciate that. I wasn't signed up for that. So we go in and I'm also like, who's fucking haunting Kevorkian? Like, they all chose to die. And they're like, well, one guy might have changed his mind, so we think he's haunting it. And they're very serious too before they're like, do not touch anything. They're very, you can get hurt. Blah, blah, we're watching on camera. I was touching every fucking thing I could. Anytime I was touching anything haunted. I was looking at those haunted dolls and I'm like, please possess me, Peggy, blah, blah. Then, okay, so let's talk fucking Peggy. Let's talk about Peggy. We go in and they're like, this is a haunted doll. And they had like a box at the bottom and it was like white noise. Like, and then you feel like, and they pretended it was Peggy talking to her. Like, it was the cheesiest shit. I'm like, this is a box with stuff in it. This is not haunted. Peggy did not get me. So then we had to like go. They were like, oh, Jenna Jameson's brother was born here. And he thinks that their dad used to do sacrifices in the basement. And Jenna is messaging me and telling me how the house is calling her back. And I'm like, dude, you just wanted to fucking drop that Jenna Jameson has your phone number. Nobody's fooled. So like all our VIPs can go down in the basement. So we go down where they did these satanic rituals. And there's like rubber shit all over it's Discovery Zone all over again. Like, this guy's clearly a millennial kid. Like, Discovery Zone shit all over this haunted museum. And we go up and they're like, oh, he put that down there so it's more creepy because somebody asked about it. I'm like, well, he put it down there because it's a fucking lie. The best part is the Dybbuk box. And they show us this video before and it's, I'm Zach Baggins and I was with my friend Post Malone. He really couldn't wait to drop he was friends with Post Malone. I touched the box and I was instantly thrown against the wall. Blah, blah. Post Malone is haunted. They fucking showed the video. Him thrown against the wall was literally that. Dybbuk box. Ooh. Bullshit, Zach Baggins. So it was fun. Like, I'm glad we did it. It was cool stuff. Then they had like a super haunted rocking chair that they released that you could go look at. And I was like, I'm touching the rocking chair. Then I'm touching the pad of it. I'm like, please haunt me. I got to see the things from Natalie. I love Natalie Wood. Natalie Wood Splendor, where she died. So I was trying to talk to Natalie Wood. But the moral of the story was I did not get haunted, no matter how many haunted things I touched. And also, okay, haunted, all that shit. They had a serial killer section where you go in and they had a mock bed made up with the sheets that the serial killer killed people on. And there's like shit stains on it. So I'm like, hey, and then they're like, oh, and that's the stick he sodomized him with. I'm like, cool. So either he sodomized them or they shit when they die. And then they have crime scene photos up like that they found of these people on the sheets. I was like, this isn't haunted. This is just salacious. Like, this poor man died. I didn't need to see his sheets. So if you're going, go. Like, just spend the money and just go in knowing that it's 100% horse shit. And Zach Baggins is just trying to get your money. Sorry, Zach Baggins. I do not want you on my podcast because I think you are full of shit. You know who was not? Okay, here we go. Here's not full of shit. So we went to a steak dinner and that was like fine. Gordon Ramsay steak was better. STK at Cosmopolitan was fine. But we went to a magic show. And Drew found out about it like it's super secret. It's called The Magician's Study. That's at Park MGM. And you're in like a study and it's very intimate. There's only 3 little rows. And if you're VIP, you get to be in the section. So of course the Stricklands were VIP. Like, we wouldn't fucking have that experience. So we're in the front rows and the first guy first off, we had to like wait in this room and these people were like fucking man-spreading. So nobody could sit on these couches. So I'm just looking at them like they're the rudest fucking people. I figured if I kept looking at them, like, how rude are you? They'd pick it up, but they didn't. So instead, like, they wheeled out a phone and this girl Whitney answered it. And it's like, oh my God, he knew her name was Whitney. And we all go sit down. Then this guy, he's talking to this woman and he goes, what color are the bracelets? And she goes, I'm VIP. He goes, I asked what color. And I know in my head, I didn't think that they knew each other. I just thought this man was so I turned to her. I go, are you okay? She goes, oh yeah, that's my dad. And she goes, Dad, you're being so rude. This woman was worried. And I'm like, no, I didn't know it was your dad. Like, I'm so sorry. And then he's like, no, I love that you're looking out for her, blah, blah, blah. Then we were like friends, but he didn't seat us next to them. Like, whatever, whoever that seating guy was, like, fuck you. Like, you waited way too long and I got a weird seat. I'm not happy about that, sir. But that was not the magician's fault. The magician study, he came out like he's in like a rabbit mask. And he was hilarious. Like, he was like he cussed, like, and I don't know, like, we were right there. The first one he did, like, he got 100. There were also a lot of idiots that were VIP. No offense if you guys are listening, but you were idiots. Because it was like 4 Asian ladies that he was like, I think they wandered in and thought they were supposed to go to Magic Mike. I agree with him. They were not on the level. Then there was like this couple, I'll get to them later. My birthday girls, that I was like, I had their back. Like, don't fucking talk to her that way. Some birthday girl, and then another couple, then Drew and I, and then this couple where the guy gave him the $100, and it was a whole thing. So I got picked to help where they saw the woman in half. And he's like, go do the straps. So I started doing them because I'm a millennial. And when you tell me to do something, I'm going to do it immediately. He's like, that was fast. I think you have experience with straps. I'm like, oh, baby, if you only knew. And then I had one of the Asian ladies with me who like didn't even know where she was. And she's like, what? I'm like, get her neck. Strap her neck in. And so like I was looking. But also, here's the deal. I watched Magician's Secret Revealed when I was a child on TV. And that blew my mind. That masked magician. So I knew how this worked. I knew that when he was vamping with the crowd, his lovely assistant was slipping her feet out somehow and getting into the one box. So that kind of took away for the magic of it, because when he was vamping with them and stuff, I was like, I know what you're doing. I know this is so she can do this. This is not magic. But the rest of it fucking seemed like magic. Like, all the rest, I don't know how he did it. The couple at the end, like, she had a card and it was like 6 of hearts. And then at the end of the night, he's like, well, first they were doing card tricks and he took a picture of them on a lady's phone so they could see when they were coming home. It was a full deck of cards. It was for proof. The show ends and hand to God, when the Asian lady goes, but why did you take the picture of the cards? And he was like, to show the proof that there was a full deck. Like, this poor guy, it was funny because he was able to play off, but I think he was like, there's a lot of dolts. Drew and I didn't get picked that much, but we weren't dolts. So there wasn't as much to vamp on. And he made an upside down pineapple joke, and like 5 of us laughed, Drew and I included. And he's like, it's swingers. So I think we were too cool. He didn't want to mess with us. But so the girl had a 6 of hearts later, and then he pulled it up again. And the lady goes, we already did this. And the birthday girl goes, it's a callback. It was amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. Probably the dumber people with you, the better. But the magician study, I don't know his name. It's all secret, but it was good shit. So then, we had to come home, and I can't wait to tell you about where we stopped on our way home. All right. So we're driving home, and we got a bunch of snacks, and I don't know, I was wanting a meal, and we kept passing by Subways, and I've been wanting Subway, but we didn't have it. Because also I told him to stop. Okay, it was my fault, but irrelevant. So I'm looking it up, and we're like, all right, we're going to Wiki Up's the next place we're going. So I'm like, well, all they have is Dazzo's Chicago-style hot dogs, which is great because I'd wanted a hot dog the whole time. It was a very good hot dog, but I walked in, and it was MAGA city. Like, Trump 2024, he's serious this time. NRA stuff, like bumper stickers that were like, I traded my wife I got my wife a gun. It was the best trade I ever made. And like shit about chemtrails and stuff. I was like, oh my God. Wow. It was Joe Biden bending over with a mask on, I might add, because, real men don't wear masks. And you put a pen in his butt. It was called Hiding Biden. So I'm looking at the box because I'm like, oh my God. And the guy's like, oh, here, look. And he's showing me, and he keeps putting a pen in Biden's butt. And I was like, I am not a Biden fan. Like, let's all be honest. Like, what the fuck did you do, man? You fucking lost this for us. But I mean, also on the box, the hand to God, I couldn't stop laughing because it said endorsed by his one black friend. Like, the shit was so unbelievably racist and awful that it was comical. Like, it had to be like, I had to laugh. And then he had like, he kept trying to get me to buy the Hiding Biden. I'm like, I don't want that. But he had a Trumpinator bobblehead. And I was like, I do want that because Jesus Christ, like fucking yeah. And he's like, oh, those sell out so fast. I go, oh, we're going to Vegas in November. Will you have some then? He goes, yeah, but world might be ending by then. And oh boy, your man won. You did it. You won. Why are you talking about the world ending? I'm not talking about the world ending. My girl lost. Your man won. So I think that Dazzo's dogs, you need a little more faith in the Fuhrer. Come on now. World's ending. So I was very respectful. Like, I don't think he knew I was mocking him. Then I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom. So I go in the stalls and I come out, and hand to God, it keeps getting better. There is a working toilet. So it's 2 stalls. There is a working toilet right across from the stalls. No stall around it, just in the corner. Like, this man saw Bridesmaids and was like, no, nobody's shitting in my sink, and like just installed an extra toilet. They also had like a family genderless bathroom. And I was going to be like, Dazzo dogs, really? Come on. We don't play that game here. Man or woman bathroom. Come on, man. He was really disappointing me for a maggot. But I will definitely be posting the pictures I took there because they were hilarious. And if I do get a Trumpinator bobblehead, I will definitely put that up and share it. But I was like, in my mind, laughing because I'm like, you want to hide in Biden? And I'm like, I had a pussy power flag up, and I still have Kamala chocolate bar up. Like, my son even asked me about it. He's like, I said, I'm going to keep that forever. I don't care. That's why I fucking wanted to win. So Dazzo dogs, if you want some racism and a really good hot dog, please go. It was great. Chemtrails. Come on. All right, guys, let's get into Drew's birthday party. So I was also simultaneously like helping get stuff ready for our friend Amy. Love you, Amy, so much. She's a doctor and beautiful. If any single men want to date her, please let me know. Amy is amazing. But I was also like dealing with Walker's play and Drew's birthday. So like, I'm free. I had to set up, and I'm getting ready, and I realized I never picked up the dessert. Like, I had ordered these cupcakes from Sassy's Bakery the day of the party. I realized at 3:00 I never picked them up, and they were closed. So we had to rally, and Drew went and got some bashes. But you know who did deliver, and I cannot talk them up enough? Wake and Bakery. Sherry, the baker there. Sherry, I told you I'd give you a shout out. I fucking love her. I call this girl, and she's like, what do you need, Sarah? I got you. She's like, I have a full-size cheesecake for his birthday. I can do those minis for your party. I was like, yes. She's like, do you want me to call you back and tell what it costs? I said, you can't put a price on that. No, I don't care, Sherry. So we went the next day, and I even called because we had our son with us, and I was like, can we bring him in? She's like, yeah, bring him in. No problem. Like, please go to Wake and Bakery in Tempe. Like, please. The customer service is amazing. It's an edible bakery. What more do you need? It has Sherry Baby. Love you, Sherry. And they also got my husband a birthday card and signed it. How nice is that? So Sherry at Wake and Bakery is now my exclusive baker for all of my parties. If you want her information, please reach out. I told her we need to start a cottage industry for her and fuck the government. And she really liked that because, fuck the government. I did mean that. So we had the Wake and Bakery things, and then people were falling out. Like, our friends, their dog ate a bunch of white chocolate, and they couldn't, like, it's scary, and that's like their baby. So I was like, please take care of your baby. And then another friend fell out. So I'm like, is this going to be a fucking shit show? Oh, and then to boot, here we go. Here's bitching with a bitch. The fucking school that is the bane of my existence in this neighborhood, with these entitled fucking parents that almost hit my car every day and I fucking hate this school. Like, I cannot tell you how much I wish this school would burn to the ground. Not with anyone in it, but they would just fucking rebuild it and like pray around it and shit, and Jesus would make it sprout up. Like, I can't. So, of course, the day we decided to have a birthday party at the clubhouse, there's a daddy-daughter dance. Like, yes. So, guess where they were all parking? In my parking lot. So, I was getting, and of course, at this one, I didn't hire a parking attendant because I didn't think it would be an issue. So, I put out a no parking sign. These fuckers are just parking. I'm just staring at them angry. Then I'm just talking loudly when guests come, and they're like, hey, what's up? I'm like, well, apparently they can read the Bible, but they can't read the no school parking sign. What would Jesus do? He wouldn't fucking park there. That's the answer. Jesus wouldn't fucking park where it says no parking. He followed the rules. You're already bad Christians. So then I was like, they're just ignoring it. So I was putting stuff in the parking spots because people were arriving late. I wanted them to have parking spots. We rented this place. They are our parking spots. So I put a chair, a no parking sign, and a step stool. Some little fuck, I don't know who the fuck you were. Some little fuck kept taking my chair and putting it by the clubhouse. So I did this twice and I yelled at them. Then I saw him and I chased him and I said I was yelling. I called him a bastard. I said his mom should have aborted him. Like, part of it was like the show. Everyone was kind of enjoying it, but also like, don't fucking touch my chair, little brat. Like, I understand, like, you're fucking entitled cunt in Agritopia. Like, oh, mommy and daddy would rather buy me things than parent me, but don't fucking touch someone's chair. That's the moral of the story. Don't fucking walk on my lawn. Don't fucking touch my chair, you little bastard. But after that, it was a lot of fun. Like, we had food and everybody showed up. And then we decided to play werewolves, which was so much fun. So right now we are obsessed with traders. We're watching all the traders like US, UK, Australia, New Zealand. And it's kind of like that. So we're like, cool. And we had like 17 people. And our friend Gary, who is our son's friend's dad, was like moderating and he was totally into it. And our friend Chelsea, I know you're listening because you said you have nothing else going on. Chelsea was the MVP of that party. Period. Chelsea was the best part of that party. Homegirl had some wine and some cheesecakes and she played werewolf like nobody's fucking business. Like, hands down, best part. We're all laughing. Walker's drama and tech teacher showed up. Hey, Kylie and Jill, call out to you too. So it was really just a cool, diverse group. And then it was funny because like at 9:00, like we had people fall off. And it actually was all the young ones. Then at 10:00 after werewolf, people left. So then we're like, all right, we're doing karaoke. And they had about 5 of us. I got to do all these things I have done, do my dance, and Drew filmed it full circle. He redeemed himself. I also did Fuck You by Lily Allen, which I wore my Harris Waltz hat. And I had some dance moves that were directed at the Fuhrer and Elon Goring. That's Elon Musk, if you're wondering. That was Hitler's second in command was Goring. So I'm calling Elon Goring. That's right, they're Nazis. Anyway, so I filmed that. If anyone would like to see that video, I was quite proud of that one. And then I got to fulfill my childhood fantasy. So when I was little, my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies was Mannequin 2. Yes, Mannequin 2, not Mannequin 1. And they had Starship, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now at the end. So to me, that was the epitome of like romance. So Drew and I sang karaoke, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. And Chelsea made a GIF. It was Jim, however the fuck you pronounce it. I don't know. I'm white trash. But it was adorable. And I loved it. So if anybody wants to see those videos, I will probably post them anyway. But moral of the story is party, huge success. Love all of you that came. Love all of you that couldn't make it. But the next day we made the decision that we love the Renaissance Festival. After I got off pills, that was like the first thing we did as a family is we went to the Renaissance Festival for the first time. We've gone every year since, so this was our 4th time. And we like to go the first day and the last day. We couldn't go the first day because it was this party, so we went Sunday. And we're like, this is it. Like, he's been wanting a tunic, and I was going to get a chainmail top. And it was like, yeah, we're going to do this. So we went, and it was hot, which was just weird. And we went and saw our favorite Niblick and Mashie show. Remember to look up the podcast, Niblick and Mashie. I want to have you on. I gave them stickers. And honestly, it was just so much fun. The food is always so good, but the kids were being little bitches. Sorry, guys, they were listening, but you were. Like, Walker didn't feel good and we had to leave him, and then Beckett was bitching about stuff, and it was a whole thing. But we have so much. If you haven't been to a Renaissance Festival, like, I can't tell you how awesome it is. And I actually bought a glow-in-the-dark unicorn stat. Here, I'm going to show you if you're watching video. Look at that's my unicorn statue, and it's MILF green. So I'm so excited. I'm going to post cards of all this stuff that I bought because it's amazing. So I got my unicorn staff, and then I got the most beautiful chainmail. I can't wait for you guys to see it. I'm going to wear it on another episode, but it was like pearls, and like I wore it over my white shirt. I had the best time. We went and saw the mermaids, and Drew got a tunic That was a lot of fun. What else did we do? We did an escape room, which we love because Strickland's love puzzles. But Beckett got upset because he said he wasn't being helpful. But to be honest, I was pretty stoned and not that helpful myself. I got like one thing kind of. So I was like, dude, we all helped. It was a team effort. Like it was mostly your dad and brother. No shame, man. Like it's cool. And we also decided probably going second time to the Renaissance Festival, just us and our friend Maggie. Love you, Maggie. Yeah, I think twice is too much for the kids. And then they want to like ride rides. Then Beckett, like they wanted to ride a $15 ride each. It was like jumping up and down. Like there were with things. So they got on there and Beckett is like losing his mind. He's like, ah, ah. I've never done this to him as a mother, but I was like, he goes, I said, we paid $15 for this, honey. You're going to get your money's worth. So like, I didn't care that he was like, I kind of thought like, I knew he was safe. And that's what I told him, you're safe, Beckett. And I also wanted to learn, like, maybe we don't want to do this again. So the kids, I think, are done with the Ren Fest. We're not, can't recommend it enough. I think that's about all I had for you guys. I just wanted to do a quick touch base, kind of tell you about what's going on because you're my friends. And since it is February, I'm going to introduce our February book club of the month. January didn't work out. Kirsten had a family emergency, so no biggie. But our next one is Year of the Rabbit by T.D. Donnelly. My close friend, Tom, he was a screenwriter. He wrote the screenplay for Sahara. And then when they had, the strikes, they didn't tell him he couldn't write books. So we're all going to start at Year of the Rabbit. And he will be on here at the end of the month talking about all things Hollywood. He was having a trip to Vietnam. We're going to talk about how we're going to sing karaoke. It's going to be a blast. There is going to be lots more guests for you to see coming. I have some lifestyle, some TV, some more friends. So please go on at Ma'am Podcast on Instagram and follow me for all of our information. DM me any questions. Please subscribe. And don't forget, friends, make today your bitch.